we love the idea of scale. So if you're here, you're probably interested in ideas of growth. We like to look at the upside, at the positive stuff, and it's great. It helps us get into motion. To go on to do bigger and better things. But our focus is almost entirely on the upside that we forget to look at the downsides, the mess that gets created when we focus entirely on the upside, and as a result, we don't have time to clean up the downside. So a good example would be a system that generates a lot of waste or is ineffective or has a lot of pollution. So for example, Coca-Cola. They have an upside, yes, they're doing well profitably. Let's say they're growing. But think of all the mess they're creating, all the health issues that are coming as a result of drinking sugary drinks. And this also happens in small organizations. So this blue line represents growth. It represents the upsides, profit, market share, all these beneficial things that we all seek and we all hyper fixate on. The downside right here is the mess, the organizational stress, the literal mess of organization in the back end, your staff, people scrambling to figure out what to do, all these things. As you scale, the upsides go up, yes. The downsides also go up. So as you're growing, the downsides will also start to scale. So what happens is we hit a plateau when we reach a point where our organization can no longer manage that level of mess, that level of disorder, of chaos. Right? And the path forward would be to take a step back and to actually slow down growth here, fix the mess, and then continue to grow again, which would lead us to this curve, right? Here, we're fixing the growth, or we're fixing the mess. But this is very hard to do. It's very hard, once you've grown a certain degree, it's very hard to turn away from that growth because you've worked so hard for it. And what happens is that leaders tend to avoid stepping back to fix the mess, and so they end up in this plateau. It's just a very counterintuitive approach to take at this point. So what happens is this will happen for a long time until they realize that something has to change, and then they'll take a step back. They'll clean up the mess, and then their organization will able to finally support them the way it was meant to. So the alternative approach is to understand that mess also scales. If I want to grow, I'm going to have to, at the same time, be cleaning up. I can create the best gourmet meal ever, and then if you look at the kitchen sink, there's going to be a pile of dishes loaded up. How am I going to make another meal, right? As I make the nice dish, I'm going to have to be cleaning up as well. So that's exactly the approach that we want to take when it comes to growing, right? We're too quick to focus on the benefits, the profits, the admiration, and all these positive things, and we forget about the downside. So when we hit a plateau, we've been fixated on this thing so long that we can't address this. And our focus is so much here that it becomes too dangerous for us to step back and take a dip. Right? So here's the approach that I take and I typically recommend is slow down the growth. Like, okay, great, growth is great and we should pursue it. We can take this approach as well, grow and go up. That's perfectly valid as well. But I am very fixated on fixing growth. And this is a concept I got from Tim Grover, or not Tim Grover, he's the coach, Tim Ferriss. So Tim Ferriss has a heuristic for organizational mess. He eliminates, delegates, or automates. Eliminate, automate, or delegate. So E, A, and D. So you look at the activity that you're doing and you ask yourself, is this something that we need to continue doing? And as an aside, this is also an approach Elon Musk takes. So you look at the organization, the activities are you doing, and you ask yourself, can we eliminate this? Is it even serving a function that our people who we choose to serve want? And if you're not sure, check out my video on feelings, desired feelings. We all are aiming for a desired feeling. So if it's not providing that, we eliminate it. So boom, our mess goes down. All right, let's say we can't eliminate it. We need to continue doing this as an organization. Then automate it, right? We have so much incredible technology that's not being leveraged that helps us automate, that helps us organize, that removes decisions and makes it easier, makes it easier for us to handle more things. And boom, again, the mess goes down. And then finally delegate, right? It's too tempting to just quickly delegate everything. And that's a common issue I see a lot in leadership, is we run into mess and the leader doesn't want to deal with it, so he ends up delegating it. Whereas what I'm challenging you to do is to take 2 additional steps. First, ask if we can eliminate it. Is it even useful? Do we even need it? And if it's not useful, why are we having our organization do it? And then the second question is, can we automate it? Right? If the work's coming in, if this is something that has to be done, is there a technology? Technology has been growing so much, it's hard to keep up. So can we take maybe a day or two to look for potential solutions to automate this thing so that our organization doesn't have to do it? And then finally, if none of that is possible, then we can delegate it. And that approach, what that leads to is very minimal mess. So here, let's say we're trying to grow and our mess factor, I don't know what to call it. Let's say we start off with a mess factor of 5. So, and whatever our profit is here, and we're trying to grow our organization 10 times. This is gonna grow to 50, right? Pretty self-explanatory. But here, let's say I take all my time to reduce it to 0.5, right? I'm eliminating stuff we don't need to do, and I'm automating it, so it becomes very easy. And this has happened a lot in my organization, where our team members are just engaging with work for an hour a day. They're done with work. There's nothing more to be done. And I don't feel like we have to go filling in the day, because I know we've eliminated stuff that doesn't need to be done. We've taken the time and effort to identify those, and we've also, as a strategic way, eliminated things that don't align with our strategy. And we've taken a lot of effort to automate stuff. So things are so much easier. And now if we scale this, it becomes 5, right? So let's say the breaking point was 50. They have to stop here. We can go, again, another 10 times more. So while they're only evolving 10 times, we've evolved 100 times. And that's how mess scales, right? And as this can be an ongoing process, but what I'm trying to say is that if we don't focus on the mess at all, we will never be able to understand why we should take a step back from only the positive aspects of growth, all right? And so this approach allows you to hit higher and higher ceilings. And as you grow, continuously working on this, continuously eliminating, continuously automating, and then finally delegating.